Ariane Bogain, who's a senior lecturer in French and politics at Northumbria University and joins me now live from Newcastle. So Ariane, then, the National Rally came out in front with 34% of the vote. I mean, they're obviously elated. Now, it was expected, but has it sunk in yet?
I mean, it was expected, and actually it's lower than the the final poll on Friday, where they were supposed to have 36, so it's actually slightly lower. So yeah, it was always expected that they were going to win, but we have to remember that the French system can be quite complicated for, outsiders, so to speak, and we have a second round. So what we can say tonight is that the far right is first in terms of percentage, but it doesn't mean that they're going to get an absolute majority on next Sunday. And actually the first estimates that we've seen seems to suggest that they won't get an absolute majority. So I think nothing has really sunk in because we still have a week to go.
Okay, well, as they say, nothing's over till it's over. And President Macron, he's been very quick to call for this broad alliance against the far right. And we know that it's usually what actually happens, especially ahead of this second round runoff. But given that the far left have actually done so well with 28% of the vote and Macron's popularity is waning, will they heed his call, or who will heed the call of President Macron?
Yeah, I mean, this is really important. And just before I came here, I could hear one of the leaders of the left saying that they are calling for a Republican front and they're going to withdraw their candidate if this candidate is in third place and ask to vote for the best candidate against the National Rally. So what we are seeing is not just Macron asking for this, but also the left. And if that happens and if voters follow what Macron and the left are asking of them, then the result might be very different next Sunday, and the National Rally will definitely not be in power. So this Republican front is really, really important. And to hear Macron straight away and then the leader of the left straight away saying, vote for anyone except the National Rally is really, really important. But obviously what matters is whether the voters themselves will do that next Sunday.
Indeed, because the far right have been coming for a few years now. So are we waking up potentially to a new France? And what do you think that future could look like if we do have the far right RN in power? I mean, financial markets early this morning, they were reacting badly to the potential of them being in power. But so far, their policies are actually hitting the right nerve with voters, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, your question is really difficult to answer because to add complication to an already complicated situation, if they do end up having an absolute majority next Sunday and Bardella becomes prime minister, it would be in a cohabitation with Macron remaining president. And it's very difficult. Cohabitation periods are always full of crisis. So it adds an extra complication. What can we expect? Well, I think what this campaign has shown is how the far right has really shown what it's about. So all its social measures that it had put forward in 2022, suddenly we don't really hear about them. What they will do is a far-right policy. They are a nativist party. They would want to curb on immigration. They would want to create national preference, as in discriminate between different types of citizens or between what they perceive as French and those who are not French. It's going to be a full-blown far-right policies, except that they won't be able to do some of the stuff that they would like to do, because that would mean changing the constitution itself. And for that, they'll have to wait in 2027 and hope that Marine Le Pen wins to then really change France, deeply.
So Ariane, are you alluding to the possibility of the mask of the RN potentially slipping then? I mean, France may be turning a page, but some are also saying, and even Macron is saying, that they may also be set for unrest. And we all know quite well that the RN has this deep history when it comes to racism or at the least xenophobia.
Yeah. I mean, if you, not that I, sorry, in the debate that we had, the 3 debates this week, you could see that the priority is all about immigration. It's all about national preference. It's all about moving away from, in some cases, century of French tradition, in particular this idea that you can become a French citizen if you are born there. The National Rally doesn't want that, which would then create millions of people who will remain foreigners for forever and who could be easily expelled if they don't do, if they behave in a way that the National Rally doesn't like. So if they do end up in power, either now or in 2027, it will change France really, really deeply. And it might lead to a lot of counter protest. So it will be a very volatile situation.
Well, let's hope it doesn't get too volatile. Ariane Bogain, I'd love to unpick this even more with you, but unfortunately we're out of time. But thank you for joining us on the programme tonight.